Welcome to SF Commercial Property Conversations with Bruce Bean, where Bay Area investments meet expert insights. Get ready to unlock the strategies of commercial real estate success.
So today we have Vernon Webb from LA with us, and Vernon grew up in LA and has gone through a interesting route to becoming a executive coach and a leadership in leadership development, mindfulness, and a number of other things. So Vernon, it's great to have you on. I just would love to hear kind of your tour de force of how you got from growing up in LA to becoming a leadership coach.
It's quite a journey. I actually had an interest in the mind. And on this particular day, a friend of mine and I would get together and we would drive to a track so that you know, we could rotate, we could run around. He wasn't ready when I came by and he said, I'll be down in a minute. Wait for me. So I looked on his cocktail table and there was a Gentleman's Quarterly magazine. And one of the articles in the magazine was looking for the Silva lining. So I started reading about this man, Jose Silva, and all that he was doing and what the mind was capable of. And it really caught my interest. So they gave the information where I could go and attend a free introductory lecture. And attended this free introductory lecture given by my mentor, who has since passed away, Bert Goldman. And I saw what it did for me, Bruce. I really did. And so I got excited about it. So when I came back to take the training again, he pulled me aside and he says, I want you to consider becoming an instructor. I was excited because I saw, how people were able to function, learning how to use their mind and perceive information about people who were thousands of miles away with an accuracy of about 80%. And so he taught me about Silva Mind Control from the instructor's perspective.
Hmm.
And I kept running and I've never looked back.
So that was in like what, the 70s or 80s?
77.
Yeah. And then you journeyed forward and started coaching people.
Well, I'd been with the Silva organization for approximately 20 years. And I had an opportunity to work with Fortune 500 companies, AT&T, McDonald's, as well as government institutions. I work with the Justice Department, the Treasury, the U.S. Air Force Space Division. They all have minds. They all need help. So, and the California State Bar Association. So I've made the rounds.
Wow. Wow. So can you give us just for the audience sake a little kind of brief summary of what Silva Mind Control is all about?
What Simple Mind Control is all about, Bruce, is it's about learning to use more of your mind. People know that they have a conscious and a subconscious mind, but they have no idea about how to access the subconscious mind. And that is where all of your mental capabilities lie, in the subconscious mind. So you learn how to access the subconscious mind by learning how to achieve a relaxed level of mind, often called meditation, mindfulness, uh, hypnosis. The bottom line is that you learn how to relax your mind. Now, that will take you to that area, and we get a little bit technical here. We have four basic brainwave levels: beta, alpha, theta, and delta. Right now, you and I are in beta. The next brainwave level below us is alpha, and that's roughly, if we were to hook you up to an EEG machine, you'd be generating between 7 and 14 cycles per second in the alpha realm. Slower than that is theta, and that's from 4 cycles to 7 cycles. And below that is delta. And delta, you're unconscious.
Oh, whoops. All right.
Yeah. So what it comes down to is that your sleep cycle is a 90-minute cycle. When your head hit the pillow last night, you started relaxing, brainwaves started slowing down, you spend 10 minutes in alpha. During that time, you started dreaming. Then your brain waves slowed down and you spent 80 minutes in delta, 80 minutes. Then your
Wow.
brain waves speeded up and you spend another 10 minutes in the alpha. And that's your sleep cycle throughout the night. 10 in alpha, 80 in delta. Every time you're in alpha, you're dreaming, which of course would then suggest that we have more than one dream. We dream continuously throughout the night. And so I teach people about being able to remember their dreams, programming their dreams, and that in and of itself is important because some of our greatest inventions and scientific finds have come as a result of people who remember dreams, inventors who remember their dreams.
So let's translate this for our audience. Mostly we're talking to salespeople, to commercial real estate people, insurance people, property management people. How could they use this information to better themselves?
I'm glad you asked. First of all, it's all about the mind and your ability to sell, your ability to influence people is based on what you think and how you speak to them, what you believe about yourself, your self-image. If you believe that you're not going to make the sale, you're right. You won't.
You're not going to do it.
It's as simple as that. But if you decide you want to make more sales, then you just have to believe in yourself that you can do that. Now, that sounds good. That's like telling someone you need to have a positive mindset. Sounds good. But how do you do that? And see, that's what I do. I show people how to access that part of their mind, learning how to achieve a relaxed level of mind so that they can begin to address some of their fears that are holding them back from being successful. Because some people have the subconscious belief that they don't deserve to have
Mhm.
successful sales, they don't deserve to have a successful life, and they're struggling. I mean, they are absolutely struggling. For them, getting up and going to work, that's a tough job. Just getting up and going to work because they don't like what they're doing. They haven't been made any sales recently. And so they start believing that they're no good. They can't do this. They can't do that. And anything you say to the subconscious mind, it accepts as being true. Doesn't have to be true. Just the fact that you believe it to be true, it then becomes a part of your belief system. So the first thing I work when I'm working with salespeople is to ask them, what do you want? I mean, what do you really want? Most people don't know what they want. They're pretty sure they haven't got it, but they don't know what they want. So decide what it is that you want. Your next step is, are you deserving? Because no matter what it is that you do, if you have a secondary belief that you're not worthy, then that secondary belief is going to drive all of your actions and you'll not be successful because you don't believe you deserve it. So I start right there with making sure that they are worthy or they believe they are worthy about being successful, making money, and having a great life.
So what happens in a situation where a person comes to you, you coach them, and you basically they come to the conclusion that maybe I better change my job because I can't believe I'm going to make it in this particular field or job area.
Okay, if you were listening to yourself, I can't believe.
Yeah,
That's
right.
all it takes. When you say I can't believe, your mind says you're right. And then pretty soon you will find yourself making the choices that indicate that you are absolutely correct. You can't make it. When in reality, all you had to do was change your thoughts, your beliefs, and that changes your actions and your outcome.
So basically you're saying that you can succeed at any job. It's all a matter of belief.
It's a matter of belief. And how strong is your desire?
Mm.
Because weak desire will bring you weak results. Following desire, what is your belief? Do you believe you can do this? Well, this is something I want to do, and I believe I can do this. That's the second part. And the third is expectancy. And expectancy is looking at the end result of what it is that you want. The subconscious mind is interesting when you learn how to communicate with it. because you have to act as though you have what it is you say that you want.
Act as if. Yeah,
You must
exactly.
act as if, and then you begin to program it by incorporating your five physical senses. And that is where, so you look at it as an end result. And if I made this sale, what would I be looking at? What would
Mm.
I be hearing? And what would I be feeling? And when you can bring all those senses to bear and you focus on it a couple of times a day is what I tell my clients. You need to spend 10, 15 minutes a day, preferably 20, twice a day, working on training your mind.
So
Makes all
what
the difference.
is there a difference between a coaching, say, an athlete or a athletic team versus coaching a business person or business team?
Well, it really is all about what you believe and what you want. And if I can sit down in front of a person like I'm sitting down talking to you, I need to find out what you want. And I
Right.
need to find out what you believe is holding you back. And so we begin to focus on what you believe is holding you back. So now, whether I'm talking to a team of people and I've done group coaching, or if I'm talking to one individual client, I still need to know, what do you want? What do you believe to be true? Doesn't have to be true, just the fact that you believe it to be true. We're going to change that belief. We're going to give you a different perspective on what it is that you say that you want and the end result that you're looking for.
So would you say, I don't know how much you know about Tony Robbins, but would you say this is similar to what he teaches?
This is very similar to what he teaches. It's a different concept. I've uh, I've told my fiance, I said, there's more than one way to skin a cat. She says, there are cat lovers that aren't going to like that. I'm like, okay, well, I tell you, there's more than one way to thread this loop. And there is the Silva method of dynamic meditation. There is neurolinguistic programming. There's hypnosis. There is Psych-K. There are a lot of ways to access the subconscious mind. But in essence, what Tony is doing is he's not talking to your conscious mind. He's talking to your subconscious mind. And he's having you create certain pictures that are in line with what you want to achieve.
So you are very, it sounds like you're very familiar with Tony
Oh,
and
yeah.
some of the things
Oh,
he,
yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So as you talked earlier, you would like to sit down and talk with Jose Silva, but you also have another mentor that you would like to sit down and talk with. What was his name again?
Well, if I could talk with Milton Erickson, he is considered to be the father of hypnosis, of conversational hypnosis. And I would like to learn how he does that, how well he does that. And he uses words, he uses body language, he uses the tone of his words, and he knows what outcome he's looking for. And then he just matches what the person is, his client is doing. And pretty soon he's just so in tune with his client. And then he begins to lead them in a different direction. So rather than them thinking about what they can't do and having negative thoughts, he said, but what if you could do this? How would that feel? And it stops them from going down that negative road and they start thinking about possibilities. And it would look good and I would enjoy it. And so he just moves them from where they were, wrapped up in negativity and a self-defeating attitude, to a I can do this attitude and a successful belief in their abilities.
So it sounds like I, if I'm, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think
Right.
anyway, this is not really mind control in the way of controlling someone else's mind. This is mind control in terms of controlling your own mind. And also in terms of hypnosis, of course, people are very fearful of hypnosis because they think somebody else is controlling them. But from what I hear you saying, that's not really what they're trying to do.
That's true. People are afraid of what they don't understand. And much the same way that people were afraid of the internet because they
Mm.
didn't understand it. They're afraid of
AI.
artificial intelligence. Why?
Yeah.
Because they don't understand it. But once you understand it and you get ahead of this curve and you start using it, and say, well, I can do this. Sure, you can. So you have to get in front of it. What is really important, Bruce, for people to do is to feel that they are worth carving out 15 to 20 minutes twice a day. Now, everybody is busy, no question about it. But if you're willing to carve out 15 to 20 minutes a day in quiet, not listening to the radio, not reading the paper, just you, and you slow your brainwave levels down to a relaxed level of mind, you know what it is that you want. So you begin to create mental pictures of the end result. Not I'm going to this, I'm going no, that's not the way you speak to the subconscious mind. It doesn't understand that. You must act as if you already have what it is that you say that you want. So if you're getting ready to meet with a client, as I'm sure many of your listeners are going to be doing, what do you want? You want to make the sale. So, but this is a tough client. Not, not necessarily. You may believe that, but once you get there and they feel your energy and you ask them the kinds of questions that are going to peel away at their tough outer exterior and get to what's going on, you'll know what you need to say to them in order to make the sale.
And what salesperson wouldn't want that to
I can't
make it work?
imagine any.
Yeah. So this is all incredibly interesting. How would people get a hold of you, Vernon, if they want a little more detail about this?
Well, outside of LinkedIn, where some people find me, Bruce, I have a website. It's webgroupleadership.com.
Okay.
And that web with two B's, by the way, just so we're clear.
Always good.
Yeah. And from there, let's chat. We can have a quick chat. I can find out if you're the type of person that I can work with and that wants to work with me. In other words, do we have that symbiote, that back and forth? Because everybody is not going to be comfortable working with me. Most people are, but there'll be some. And there are some people that are not going to be good clients. Let's find out if you want to work with me and if I want to work with you. Let me find out what it is you want to do. And chances are, because this is very scientific, I mean, it's extremely scientific, because what research has shown is that when you slow the brain wave levels down so that you're in a relaxed level of mind, all you've got to do is decide what you want and begin reprogramming your mind. Very
Awesome.
easy to do. You just
Now,
have to know how. It's simple, it's just not easy.
so some listeners are obviously going to say, well, wait a minute, Vernon, how much does this cost?
Well, you know what? There, Bruce, I have different levels depending on how much access you want to me. Whether you want unlimited access to me, whether you want 3 hours of access to me in a week in 30-minute increments, or whether you just want 2 hours of access to me every week. Depends on you, and we'll find that out through a conversation. But what's probably most important is how important is it that you start turning your sales around? How important is it to you that you start making more money? And that's going to determine whether you want unlimited access to me, 3 hours a week, or 2 hours a week. But I am more than willing to have a 15 to 30-minute conversation to find out if we're a fit to work together.
Always good because yeah, if it doesn't resonate, then it's not going
I'm not your guy.
to exactly, exactly. Well, this is a very interesting, rewarding conversation, and I look forward to talking to you further in the future.
I would be honored, Bruce. It's been my pleasure.
That's a wrap on today's journey through the SF commercial real estate scene. Ready to share your story? Visit sfcommercialconversations.com/guest. Your insights could lead the next conversation.